a solid speaker kind of guy. Really lessing this up, aren't I? Okay, is Jerry Kimball of Atlas. He's got some cool stuff to show us.
Thanks, Ed. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone here that purchases Atlas products. We really appreciate that very much. I know there's a lot of times we don't say that, but we do appreciate you buying our product. What I want to talk about here today is 6 quick items. The first being, for those of you that don't know, we purchased all of the O-scale product from Walters, which amounts to 17 structures, one of which we've gotten a lot of calls on it, is a theater with the operational lighted billboard sign, and Miller done that. And currently we don't have any parts in stock for that sign. We're selling through the stuff that we bought from Walters. We do have a lot of it on display at our booth, which is LL01 in the Orange Hall, and we will start up production again in February of next year on those kits and structures. Just a quick survey. Who prefers kits? If you give me a raise of hands, do you like kits or do you like structures? Yes. Structures? Yes. Structures? Okay. Kits? Wow. Okay. All right.
It really depends on how big and complicated it is.
All right. Understood. All right.
The bigger it is, the more you go for the mass model.
All right. So we're trying to fight our way through that right now, but that gives a good indicator of what everyone wants. Okay. Number 2. Soon we'll be offering a more prototypical 2-rail truck assembly for the hardcore 2-rail guys in here. That's been okay. It's coming. It's already tooled up. We got beat to death that it was too wide, and there was a reason for that. But we've listened to you, and we're tooling it up, and the money has been spent, so you can expect that coming. Also, for the 3-rail crowd here, we're not going to leave you out. We've heard you loud and clear that you want a tabless coupler, so that's on the way. It'll be here sooner than later. Okay, good. On a roll here. Boom, boom. Okay, starting immediately, all Atlas locomotives, whether they're master or trainman, will have speed or / cruise control in them. Prior to now, the trainman locomotives did not have that, so that's being added. Next, the California Zephyr. We know everybody wants that train completed as quickly as possible. I'm here to promise you that we will have it completely done within the next 18 months. We're going to change the cadence of the rollout. As a matter of fact, last April we announced that the next 2 cars were going to be the conductor's dome with the added window, the extra window, and the 16-sectional sleeper. We've changed that up a little bit. We're going to give you a 16-sectional sleeper on the next announcement, which will be next month, and the dining car, so that your train will look a little different than just a bunch of domes and sleepers on it. And then stay tuned for some other announcements which will allow you to complete your Zephyr a lot quicker than you originally thought you would be able to. And then finally, if you come and visit us over in the Orange Hall, if you happen to be a Golden Spike Club member, we have a little lounge over in that area where you can come and take a load off your feet. We have some coffee, some refreshments, soda, the whole enchilada. And we'll watch your stuff if you want to walk around and so on and so forth. So the Golden Spike Club Lounge, come on over, visit with us, and look at all the neat stuff that we have on display. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Jerry. By the way, Jerry mentioned that somewhere in the future there'll be Santa Fe versions of their cars.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just checking, Jerry. Okay. Now, speaking of the hardcore 2-railers, we have a genuine hardcore 2-railer here who's got 45 seconds to talk to us because we want to be fair.
Am I the only 2-railer here? Let me see your hand. There's got to be another hand in here. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, what I'm here to tell you about is the O-Scale National. We're responsible for the layout that's in the Black Hall. I hope you all got over to see it. It's a tremendous layout. Thank you. Thank you very much. The O-Scale National is going to be run in July, 3rd week of July in Parsippany, New Jersey. When I say O-Scale National, note, all advertising does not have O2Rail National. It says O-Scale National. We are not closing the doors to the high railers who are putting KD couplers on their equipment. In fact, we realized that if it wasn't for the high railers putting KD couplers on their equipment, there'd be very little two-rail coming in. Now, I'm in row K in the Orange Hall. We also have a booth over in the Black Hall for the convention. If you find that this might interest you, stop by, talk to myself in the Orange Hall, or talk to Mike Patago over in the Black Hall. I'm Andy B. on the O-Scale Forum. Mike is Patago on the O-Scale Forum. I think you both, if you're on the forums, you know us all. Thank you for the 45 seconds.
Just made it, Andy. Just made it. Thank you.
And I'll have flyers on the way out, too.
All righty. If Larry Harrington will please come up.
From New Jersey.
It's you, Larry. Yes. The things we have to do when we're dealing with stars is just, I'll tell you. Here we go.
You would know it.
Ouch! Ooh, ooh.
Hi, everybody. Beautiful day we're having here today. Why don't you guys just came by to announce a few of our products that we have out on display. We have our 460s that we came out with last fall. Been very successful with those. We continued to expand that with 3 sets that we have in the line now, ready to run sets. We did a New York Central freight set, a Union Pacific passenger set, and a Christmas set. They're all on display at our booth. We have some paint samples of the operating cars that we announced last year. They should be in late this year, around November, but in time for Christmas. We also, our big announcement for our show this time is a GP30 locomotive with scale detail. It's available in both dynamic brake and non-dynamic brake versions. It has full sound, directional LED lighting, lit number boards. It's worth taking a look at. We used our HO sound vendor, Soundtracks, who's a good expert in the field of sound, to develop this system for us. It has a horn and bell and prime mover, prototypical to the model. There's catalogs and new product announcements available at the booth, so come on by and pick one up, and if you have any questions, just see me there.
By the way, this is what it looks like.
The catalog, and we also have our Platinum Club car on the back of the flyer for this year as well. Give it back to Ed.
Hey, thanks, Larry. So when are we going to get a GP30 as a sample? Okay, a new speaker, first time he's here. He's the new owner, one of the new owners of Corber Models. He's got some interesting things to say about the line. Your turn.
My turn. Yeah, kind of visual. I was looking for the cue card. My name's Rich Redmond. My wife and I, Teresa, just purchased the assets of Corber Models from Just Trains. So on the forum, I'm Rich883. So you'll probably find the posts on my layout are going to be a little diminished for a while, and probably a little more on what we're doing. So anyway, we'll be getting kits back up for sale on our website, www.corbermodels.com. You can go there and vote if you already haven't, to let us know which ones you'd like to have back in production first. FYI, the power station and the large roundhouse are winning now, so I expect those to continue. And then as we get along a little bit further, our intentions to bring some new models out. So also opportunity to comment on the types of things you'd like to see. Certainly O-Scale, there is G in the product line, and we'll be continuing that for anyone who's does outdoor or does G, and there's a small amount of HO. So really, at this point, we're in the listening mode. Like some feedback, we're over in the Purple Hall, kind of in the corner of Just Train stand, and we'd love to hear from you. Short and sweet.
Richard, thank you very much. That's really exciting news, especially the idea of making new structures as well. That's really good news. John Holtman, would you please come up and talk to us about archives?
Thanks, Ed. Sure.
Hi everyone, I'm John Holtman, as Ed said, and I always camp out next to the OGR guys here at York in the HSL booth, and I've been digitizing various train hobby information through the years, starting with the O-Gauge Railroading magazine, doing things like Lionel catalogs, magazines, and so forth. And we have a couple of new products here today, and the first one is called the Lionel Consumer Publications Archive. This is a non-catalog, non-magazine archive from 1937 to 1969. Has a little Bantam model railroading book in it, and a lot of the other little pamphlets that Lionel published through the years. Kind of goes along with the catalog and the magazine archives. It's a new product that we have. We've also started something I've had a number of people ask about, looking at these items on tablets, like Nooks, Kindle Fires, iPads, and so forth. So what we've done is taken a couple of the more popular Lionel catalog archives, the 1925 to 1942 and the 1945 to 1969, and made versions that you can load onto your tablet, your iPad, Kindle Fire, and so forth. And you can use all the viewing technology in those products to flip through the catalog pages and so forth. And depending on how well these are received, we may consider doing other products that way. But anyway, a nice way to look at catalogs on an iPad or a Nook through these products here. The last product, and this is actually done by Bob Osterhoff, who's another individual who's been digitizing a variety of information. The All Aboard publication was an internal publication of Lionel, originally just given to their employees and eventually distributed to service stations and other places from 1946 to 1959. There were over 102 issues of these. Very rare magazines. I mean, I always say model builders, somewhat hard to find. You might pay $10 a piece on eBay. A lot of times these are $40 and $50 a piece. The first couple of years, very difficult to find. But Bob has digitized the entire run from 1946 to 1959. It's available on 3 CDs. And he and I jointly market products while we're here at York. So if you'd like to stop by my booth next to the OGR folks, I'd be happy to give you a demo, and you can see those particular magazines. But there's a lot of neat history in there about the Lionel factories, new products they were considering, and so forth, along with wedding anniversaries and birth announcements and things of that nature. But a nice publication. So anyway, thank you very much. I'm next to the OGR guys, and thank you, Ed.
One of the things that John didn't tell you about that publication is it has a complete listing of Lionel bowling scores. So, I mean, there's a little piece of nugget of history there that, you know, you'll be able to know more about. Mr. Schneider, sir, you're looking just too comfortable and relaxed. Come on over here and talk to everybody. Dave Schneider of Schneider Model Railroading. A man who believes in museum quality trains.
It's a passion, guys. This is year 9. This is my 9th consecutive year of being in business, and we've got a lot of things planned. But what I'm going to show around is the first time I never pass anything around because my stuff's usually too rare and too nice and too delicate, actually. Yeah, that's a good phrase. I was just worried about, you know, too much Brickers, French fry grease on them and stuff like that. So I shrink wrap this. This is a brand new product. It came to me because I'm selling the kits. This was a laser cut made USA kit that is put together by American craftsmen, painted here, done, so it's made in USA. The only non-American products that are in this are the trucks and the couplers, which are made in South Korea. So we're not giving any money to the Chinese. And so this is essentially a 90-something% American product made by SMR, and it is a wood boxcar that's really made out of wood. So I'm going to go around and let you look at it. Look inside. It's got the inside battens. It's got the ribs for the roof. All of that stuff. All details are on it. And it goes for $190. $190 is not that much when you consider that the parts for the kit and the couplers and the trucks are $100 as they are. So we are not trying to make a ton of money. We're just trying to encourage people into the 19th century, because our motto is like back to the future. The future of model railroading is not yet another GG1 or K4, as much as you may like them. There are too many of them out there. You need to go and consider changing your era, changing into something more exciting. If you don't like one of the company's European models and you want to do American models, you might want to consider this is the 150th anniversary of the Civil War. And in fact, last week was the 150th anniversary of the Great Locomotive Chase. And you can run a really nice 19th century train, and you only need 3 or 4 cars because that's all they were. You don't have to buy 5,000 cars. So you can afford $190 for a car because you only need 4 of them anyway. You don't need 18 cars that cost you $60. Okay, so it's like common sense of economics here. Buy quality. If you get a Rolex, it'll last you forever. If you get an SMR, it'll be a treasure forever as well. So stop by, say hello, and enjoy that. Any questions? Yes.
Your cars go around a lot sharper curves than some of the other stuff out there.
That's true. Actually, they were designed to because the railroads were much tighter curves. So this car here could go around any curve you want. My engines typically go around 42 or 54 tracks. You don't need 72, so you can put more there. And we make my engines currently have sound, they have smoke, they have whistles and bells and all that. They just don't have things like TMCC or DCS because those guys won't let me put it. I guess they think I'll put them out of business. So, if they let me put them in, I'll put them in. But that'll require you guys to complain to them. Any other questions?
Would it fit?
Oh my God.
Yes. It's been done privately by members of this very forum have bought some of my products and put like TMCC or DCS in their things. DCS 3 will definitely fit. How about licensing it to me?
You know what I really like about Dave is he manages to mellow out any gathering. God bless him. The products, by the way, are exquisite, and Dave is one of the more mellow people I know. Okay. Chris Miller. Chris Miller is going to talk to us about some of his latest signs. At least I hope he is. Anyway, okay.
Wouldn't be here if it wasn't for those. As usual, we have some new releases. We have a Planters Peanut sign, which is probably our most popular sign to date, and that one's full color. We finally found a way to print the signs with full color. The problem with using the material that we use, any colors we have to have a UV dye on them to enhance the colors. If you just did a plain printed graphics like you do for anything else, the colors would be kind of faded out. But in the Planters and also the copper tone sign were the first 2 signs that we did that actually have the full color printing. We also have a Borden's dairy sign, we have a Pennzoil sign, and we have a Miller beer sign. And the Miller beer sign has a special for the show. You get a free window sign with that. It's only good for the show. The offer ends actually tomorrow. And that's true of our website too. You can order it on our website up till tomorrow. We've brought out 3 more additional window signs. We brought out a Budweiser, a Rexall, and a Breyer sign. And we're going to bring out more signs. They appear to be pretty popular. They're not too expensive. They're $17.95. They're compatible with our 4.5 volts, so they'll run off our converter module or any of our AC adapters. They're stiff enough to actually be their own window, so if you have a building, you can just take out the plastic that's in there and use that as the window itself. They're oversized, so they can be trimmed to size. You can trim them down pretty small, even down to work with HO scale. For this, we're going to have a couple releases this summer. 2 of them we're going to have. One of them is going to be a Cracker Jack, and yes, there'll be a prize. No, don't ask what it is because it won't be a surprise. And it won't be the same for every sign. Each one will be about 4 or 5 different type prizes we'll have on it. So that should be a good one too. And the other thing is, we warranty our signs for pretty much the life that you have them, unless you've overflexed them or cut them in half. Actually, I've had a couple customers who just cut them off. The connectors go on. They say they don't light. It kind of leaves me speechless because they got the connector in one hand and the sign in the other, so I'm not sure how they expect them to light. It's one of the few times we don't warranty it. But generally the signs, I think I said this before, they last about 1,000 hours. They don't burn out, they just grow dimmer over time. And like I said, if you have one that gets in that condition, we'll replace it for you for free. If we don't have that sign anymore, if it's sold out, you can take your choice of any one of comparable value. The other point is the connectors, and I've mentioned this before, the connectors are semi-fragile. You have to be careful you don't overflex them. I don't think anybody I've had that's overflexed them more than once. Usually what happens is a section goes out. The signs are pretty complicated to print. It's a printing process, and some of the signs have up to 36 different layers on them. And somebody will come to me, well, I had the sign running for 2 months and nothing happened. Well, what happened was at some point he cracked one of the internal layers, and it just slowly, nibbled and arced away. And then it has to be replaced at that point. Generally, for our replacements, if a customer's damaged the sign, we give them at our cost. It's not our policy to make money off people's errors, but I don't want to lose money, so if we break even, I think everybody's pretty much happy at that point. And I'll see if there's anything else. All our new signs will work with the desktop neon bases, which have been pretty popular. It's the same cost as the railroad sign, you just specify that you want it for the desktop neon base. And I think that pretty much covers it. Stop by our hall. Stop by, we're in the Orange Hall at II-08. As I said, we have the free Miller window sign. Anybody purchase the rooftop sign. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Chris. I'll be over with my order. By the way, at this point, we'd like you to give a hand to Stephen Nelson, our official scribe for this session. Stephen, if you would. All right, let's see. Amongst this distinguished company, who's next? Well, that's really scary. Anyway, would you come over? This is a very, very new concept. It's a concept that is the folks who do action figures are very used to, but it's quite new for us. And the name of the company is Dash, and I'll let him tell you more about it.
Hey folks, my name is Bill Jones, and I'm the founder and CEO of Collector Dash Model Trains. And you guys know Trains with a Z, Scott Griggs, and all right. So Scott and I met, and he basically said, "Boy, the world of collecting needs what you've got." We've got 14,000 action figure collectors who post 11,000 items for sale. They manage 500,000 items on our software platform. And sure enough, whether you're managing paperweights or collecting paperweights or fishing lures or whatever, you have issues such as how do you manage your collection? How do you manage? How do I buy stuff? How do I sell stuff? How do I value my collection, right? How do I trade stuff? And how do I do it on my mobile phone? And some people actually want to do that on mobile phone. Yeah, 52 pickup. So we've created a platform called Collector Dash Model Train. We're on day 2, and the reaction has been fantastic. We enable people to manage. We start with a catalog, which is basically take Scott Griggs' head and stick it in a computer on a website, and you've got a really great first starting catalog. From that, it's got all the manufacturers, it's got all the products, it's got photos and things like that. You basically find the things that you have. You say, I got that one, I want that one. You can catalog your collection all for free. Okay? Come see it. We obviously try to make a little money on the transactions when you're buying and selling, but instead of giving all your money to eBay, we think actually contribute some of it back to Dash, because we're actually helping the hobby. We've got a great archive system. We help you kind of trade and share your knowledge and your experience and love of collecting model trains. We're in GG06.